This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monte Mohr, and I'm with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm CareyAnn with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com. That's questions@talkmusiccity.com.
Monty!
CareyAnn Sear of CMG Financial. So good to see your smile today.
So good to see you too. We got somebody really special in the house today.
We do. I'm really, really grateful for
quite a talent.
Sheida Gasparian from, where do you claim to be from, Sheida?
I'm from California.
I know you're from California.
I am.
What is
I'm
the
from
city?
California. So I was born in Southern California. I was born in Fountain Valley.
Fountain Valley.
Yep.
Great.
Okay, but you're living in Tennessee now. You've been here for a few years, right?
I have, yep. I'm going on almost 3 years now.
So one of the things I want to make sure we cover today is, what is it like working from, sea to shining sea, basically, from California to Tennessee? Do you change?
I feel like he's about to start to sing a song
do you,
to us.
right?
I think maybe a Lee Green one.
Do you change your accent at all?
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody's accused you in California sounding Tennessee-ish?
No, I say y'all sometimes. I mean, that has come out occasionally. But
Have you learned what the plural of y'all is?
You all?
No.
No.
It's all y'all.
All y'all.
All y'alls.
Nope. See? No, I'm a California girl through and through. I have been my whole life. But yeah, no, we moved here 3 years ago, and we love it here. Absolutely love it. But I go back and forth being a bi-coastal agent. Still, selling there and selling here. So, but I love it.
And you do an amazing job at that. And you were part of Realty One Group in California.
Yes.
Right.
Before we get there, let's talk about who you are, okay?
Okay.
I have a conviction before people can believe the message. They need to believe the messenger.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about you're a working mom with 4 children.
Yes.
We were just talking about you have eggs popping out every day as well. You have chickens.
I do.
Chickens.
Chickens, yes. Those
eggs
are the
popping
eggs.
out.
She's not spending the $8 or whatever they are now.
Well, no, they're 12. They're $1 a piece.
Oh my.
they're quite expensive. Well, actually, to get started, so first, I am a wife first. So first and foremost, I am a wife.
Yes.
That's okay. So I'm a wife. I have an incredible husband that is super supportive of everything that I do.
He's got to be.
He is.
He
is.
Such a nice guy. Yes.
Super nice guy.
Yes. Absolutely love my husband. And so that's the biggest reason why I'm able to do what I do. That's why I'm able to, we moved here because of my husband's career and his job moved us here. That's why we have the 4 kids and the chickens and all the things. And so, yeah.
I thought it was for something, so you had something to do during the day.
No, I mean, me and my husband are pretty good at finding things to do throughout the day. But no, so, with just being, who I am, just, being a wife,
What was
a
your
mother.
prior to real estate? How long have you been in the real estate? You came here licensed from California.
Yes.
Got your license here, but what did you do before real estate?
So before real estate, I worked for KinderCare since I was 16.
Wow, what a great springboard to get into real estate.
Yeah.
KinderCare. Wow.
KinderCare. So I was a preschool teacher, director, all
Really?
the things. Worked in the corporate side of it for well over 10 years. And I loved it.
Wow.
But once I had kids, I realized I could not be around kids and then come home to my own kids. My patience ran very thin. And I was like, this probably just isn't the best for me.
No wonder
And
you're such a great mentor. You're so
thank you.
patient.
Very patient. Yeah.
Very
you.
patient, very
Thank
kind,
you.
very clear on goals and expectations.
Yeah. So, I mean, I loved it, but I wanted to serve families in another way. And so I had the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom. My husband allotted that opportunity for me, and I tried it, and I just realized that just wasn't for me. I'm fortunate enough that I had the opportunity, but after 9 months of being home with a newborn, I told my husband, if you don't take me out on a date and I don't see a movie with all the things in it, I'm going to lose my mind. And I was like, this, it wasn't for me. I knew I needed more out of life, just something to fulfill me a little bit more. And so he was like, okay, well, what's something else that, you want? And I'd always had like an entrepreneurial, backbone. My father owned his own company. And so with him being a foreigner and coming here and having that drive and seeing that, I knew it's something I always wanted. And so my husband was like, well, why don't you try real estate? Like, you want to serve people, you want to help people. And so I was like, okay. And so I gave it a shot. And that's kind of how I ended up in real estate.
And you're bilingual as well.
Yeah, so I do. I speak a little bit of Farsi and Armenian as well.
Amazing. Such talent.
Thanks.
You inspire many. You inspire me, because also she's so good at, I don't know how to word it, but like closing loop, like thinking of all the details. And that probably comes from your previous career, right? Being in the corporate, her branding is top notch. You know, she utilizes all tools that are offered, you know, just a true talent, with all those things. But to think that you, and like Monte, you referenced a little bit ago that more people are doing this. You know, I don't know if they're doing it as well as you do it with structure and organization.
Being licensed in multiple states.
Yeah, multiple states, right? But you can be licensed. I'm licensed in multiple states, but I don't rock at this as well from a lending standpoint as much as you do. There's an investment, right? Being Absolutely. A wife and a mom and putting, you know, true clarity around your career that brings you joy. You have structured it where you're able to go to California. How often a year?
So it's really something I assessed like middle of last year. And so I really sat down, like you said, and I actually sat down with you and like really assessed like, hey, like I needed to kind of pivot my business and what that looked like. But right now I go back once a month and I spend 72 hours and I just hit the ground running, and I'm very intentional with my time that I'm there for and what that 72 hours looks like. In December, I went back for a little bit longer. I was able to take another agent here with me and just kind of show her like, hey, this is kind of what I do while I'm here. And the purpose behind it of just the networking. And, you know, I have that Realty One Group Elite family, which is the brokerage that I broker with there. Mona Phillips is the broker there. And that's really where I started. And then the networking of the broker tours that we have in California that we don't have here, which is something that I'm considering opening here.
Yes, I'm excited.
I know, I'm super excited, especially just because the broker tour there that I attend, it's called RMA, and it's a real estate marketing association. And there's a couple agents there that have really talked to me, and a lot of their board have talked to me about like, hey, you should start this here. Like, it's a couple hundred agents and affiliates that meet every single week, once a week for an hour there. But they've been doing this for years, so it's grown. And they're like, hey, when we started, it was just like 5 or 6 of us around a table. Like you got to just get started. And so I think.
And I was a little confused when she referenced what it was, right? But it's a group of people that come together and talk about the real estate and what's happening within the community too. Is that correct?
Yeah. So basically, it is a broker tour. Is the opportunity for any agent of any brokerage, so it doesn't matter who you broker with, to come and pitch your listing during the week, either on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, whatever day that one is assigned to, and you come and pitch it to other agents that come to the meeting and affiliates. Affiliates are anyone involved in real estate that wants to come and attend this meeting. It's open to lenders,
title,
escrow. Honestly, there's other people that come in there too. There's people that come and do like dumpsters because people do clean outs, landscapers, house cleaners, and so much business happens in that room prior to the Saturday, Sunday open houses. You'd be amazed. You'd be incredible because it's an opportunity to network amongst ourselves. At the end of the day, we're here to serve our clients. So if we're not getting in front of what's coming on the market, what's coming out there, how can we best serve our clients?
Completely. And so you're able to go, when you do go to California, able to be a participant of that.
Yes.
And you show not only maybe some California properties, but do you show the Tennessee properties? How do you do that?
I love that, what she does here.
I know what you do, but I'm
I know it. But I just was setting you up as well. I love what she does.
So currently when I go, I am going in the capacity of being a resource for people moving to Tennessee, for folks moving out this way, because there's still a lot of people moving this way for XYZ reasons. And so I am going in the capacity of, I am with the Realty One Group Music City here, and I take all of our listings of whoever's allowed me to take them, and I show them off, and I display them, and I talk to people about them, and I have a packet and an envelope, and I talk them up, and I'm like, hey, if you have clients that are interested, send them this way.
You got to feel like Mrs. Santa Claus at that point, because I love people from California for obvious reasons, because they see the prices here. Oh my gosh, I can buy something under $500,000 that doesn't have wheels under it. That is so cool. That is so cool. And you're so intentional about it. Sheida, is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here as well, is to talk about what you do and the results from it and so forth, because you are so intentional about this effort. And every month you're offering our agents the chance for you to hand deliver their listings in California and present those to a group of people. I think it's just awesome.
And the way you do it is very, very well branded. It is very professional. I think it's next level. I love a good next level, all things. And we team together. We partner together. So there's a partnership there to be able, to support that. And I think that's just a huge win. And so with branding becomes more curiosity, right? And heads turn, and that has opened up more opportunity for you out there.
Yes, absolutely. And it's crazy, every year with Realty One Group, especially here, like we talk about like a one word. Well, this year, like my biggest word is, just collaboration over competition. Like we're not here to compete against each other. There's plenty enough out there. So for me, having such a great brokerage behind me and a great partnership with you to be able to go and do this and offer this up for other folks, and then just getting the return of it, of bringing people this way and having them experience Tennessee, and then also being able to help them find their homes. Absolutely, like the investment is 100% worth it.
And look how you're getting the word around that you're the Tennessee gal.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, I'm sure you're building something significant there with that connection, from here to California. That's awesome.
And people say, to fly to California, right? So that's a flight. To do what you do in 72 hours, which I think is the mom time, meaning we got to do a lot in a little bit of time, right?
Yes.
We got to make all the windows happen.
Mom time.
Meaning you, when you become a mom and you juggle even four, me just juggling one, and you can do a lot in a little bit of time, right? With structure, right? And we talk sometimes about time blocking, et cetera. She's a pro at that. She knows exactly, because you live
She has to be
away from here too. It takes you a good over an hour sometimes to get there. Structure on when to leave for traffic, and when, it's all intentional and very purposeful, which I love. And she does it with a smile, and the best hairstyle, I swear to you, every time, which I think is amazing. So that's amazing. But to take that investment, right? People would be like, is it worth it? I don't think you ever do something without making sure that you're present, that you're heard, right? You're not going to go there and just wing it. There's structure around everything that you do. But has it been fruitful? Has it paid off?
Absolutely. It 100% has paid off. The amount of referrals that I already have coming in, like I said, the amount of business that happens in that room, and the referrals coming in are incredible. I mean, in our industry, we deal with referrals all the time, and the surprising thing, like I mentioned about affiliates being in that room, is they're not always agents that refer people to you. It's also just having that connection.
Right.
And one of the biggest things that I was always taught very, very early on in this business from my previous broker, my other broker, Mona Phillips, is that this is a belly-to-belly business. And that is one of the biggest things about going back and being intentional and being in front of people. When folks are purchasing a home, this is their home. It's not just a house for some people. Some people it is, if they're on the investment side. I get that aspect of it. And there are people like that we do deal with in our industry. But for most people moving here, it's their home. It's where they're going to have their family. And so being able to be in front of them, when I go back and I have dinner with these folks and I go into their current home where they're at, that they're going to be selling, I'm not selling their home there, but I go into their home and I see what their home looks like there, it makes that transition easier when they're moving here. Because then I can look here to see, like, okay, this is a comparable area, this is a comparable home.
Your family will love this aspect.
I saw what your daughter's room looked like there. She's going to love this here. Just those kind of touches, or your kitchen had this feature, this kitchen has this here, to make that a smoother transition for them.
That's amazing. That's good stuff.
I'm licensed in 2 states as well. I go down to Florida, but I'm learning some things from you about being that intentional about that and creating that pipeline between the two. I've shared with our agents, I really think more people should consider farming the Florida area, just like for the same reasons California, because it's getting too expensive to stay there. In many ways. The same thing with Florida. The tax and insurance are going so just outrageous. But earlier this year, I sold a home in Florida so that I could sell them a home in Nashville. Got both ends of that transaction. But I'm learning how to be intentional without the 4 kids. I love watching you as an example of doing that. Is why I wanted to make sure we're opening people's minds. Again, you have to think out of the box sometimes. You have to widen that funnel sometimes, but to be as clear and just creating that connection like you have done between California and Tennessee, I just think is
and
amazing.
you finding your little pockets, right, of opportunity, I think is key. So again, you are a California gal, right?
Yeah.
Your heart is in Cali, and did they say Cali? I might have messed that up.
That's
Sorry.
fine. You can say that.
Yeah. So you can speak the language. You just feel it. You just feel at home there, right? I think that's a nice win. But you also found your little pocket. You found something that works really well for you. Anybody else kind of thinking to do dual, you can do that, right? You might not find that broker tour that she has, but you can find something very similar, right?
Yeah.
Or opportunities, right?
I'm with ROG in Florida as well.
Yeah, and then thinking, but that's not even part of ROG, right? That's a totally different.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
But that's,
separate.
one step at a time.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
nice to be under the same brand.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And then what I love about Sheida is taking the time to study your craft, right? So if her concept was, where are people moving from? She's taken the time to think about, where are people moving from? Is there another state, that is, coming here? And I'm not going to reference all of that to share unless you want to share, but already putting strategy around, multiple states, right? And then if this plan of attack that was very purposeful, intentional worked here, what could happen if I duplicated it, at a different state, right? And so that is something I take away from the amazing Sheida, just the inspiration of taking a moment and studying my craft and opening my eyes to something bigger, right? Sometimes we just stay small and we kind of stay in our little pocket, but like opening up and seeing, all that, the potential and the opportunities that are around, even from different states. I think that's a win. We talk a lot about the financing piece, right? Well, what happens, if somebody moves from one state to another, how do you support that, right? And so there's multiple different loans that she and I have spoken about, that support that transition over, right? The employment contract program where you can purchase, settle, and then start your job, 90 days later. That's a huge win, right? Some people are still with the remote concept, right? Where they just transition with the same company, but now they're remote. So that's another win. Or they're just simply looking at investment purchases, here in the state. And we have multiple, loan options that we speak about, with that. So again, partnering with somebody that can help you, bring that vision to life, I think is always key in anything that you do. And it's just been a joy to work closely with you.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
All I can say is amen to that, And you won a very important award this past year with us.
Yes.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure. Let's talk about it.
What was that called again?
The Culture Award.
Culture Award.
The Culture Award.
She is so cool. What does that mean? I love that award.
That's beyond culture. It's beyond cool. It's culture.
It's culture.
And,
So it's kind of like the y'all word. It's two words put together, but it's Realty One Group's way of doing it.
Sheida won that award, which is it's a very coveted award. It's awesome. We love celebrating, top performers and all that. But before we do that, we talk about the 6 C's in our organization. Culture being the lead one. So anyhow, I was really blessed to see you win that award this past year.
Thank you. I was really honored to win it.
You're such an advocate for the organization, obviously, and you really believe it, and you walk it, in such grace and beauty. It's awesome.
I see here. I come in the office as much as I can, and when I'm here, she's hard at work, right? So being very purposeful with your time, right? If you're not with your kids, you're going to be purposeful with your time or with your husband, right? Purposeful with your time and or helping another agent, right? If they have questions or they need guidance. I even drove in here and I commented on her car. Like, you've got branding down pat when you got the car, not wrapped obnoxiously, right? But just purposefully, right? It was very intentional on that. So great stuff. I think if you would love to learn and reach out, I know your heart is so big, you'd be willing to talk to anybody that's out there, part of the family, or wants to learn more.
Great mentor.
She is.
Thank you.
Only raves from the people she's been mentoring.
Rave reviews.
One of them sitting out here right now.
Yes.
Can't say enough about her.
I love that. And how do folks connect with you if they like? I know they can go on your socials. Oh, and she is, let me tell you, open house queen. Oh my.
I love open houses.
She's got this down pat. And that could be another whole class and or podcast just of
I think
how
she
to
single-handedly changed people's habits from Sunday to Saturday. I'm just saying.
Out here, yeah.
I'm just saying. I see now Because when you started doing that, I thought, well, God bless her. I don't know if anybody will show up.
I know you did. I know you did.
Yeah, but she's a disruptor. That's what I
Well,
love
that's what
about
I'm
it,
saying.
right?
That's
Disruptor.
what I'm saying. That's that intentionality. If she's going to take the time to do an open house, damn it, it's going to be successful.
Well, yeah, and she's
Absolutely.
also has her boundaries, and she's got her family time, right? And very strategic with that, which
Absolutely.
I completely respect. And people do, here's the deal. Sundays, I'm doing all the things here. I'm not getting out. I would come to your open house Saturday if I was looking for a house.
A lot of
because
other people
that's-
do as well.
Yeah, because that's my day of getting around, doing errands, doing all the things. Sunday is my family day, and just, maybe not getting out of bed some days and Netflixing all day. You never know, and getting ready for the upcoming week. But amazing on the open houses. And so that's another thing I think we should bring her back and talk about.
Yeah,
one day.
absolutely. And Sheida, how do people get a hold of you? Have you shared your number yet?
You can find me on all social media platforms. It's all the same. It's going to be Homes by Sheida, so Homes, and then by Sheida, SHEIDA. Type it in. Well, I'm the only one. Guarantee you that. And then if not, it's just my cell phone number.
I love that.
Yeah.
Please share that
Okay,
too.
it's going to be 949-424-4169. Still have a Cali number.
if you know about branding, right? We always talk about twinning, right? Keep everything the same, right? And
Yes.
that's a big win for
And
you.
for those,
so.
again, who might need some help with a language that is not Southern, you also speak Armenian and
Farsi.
Farsi. Okay,
Oh, yes.
so
Yep.
I'm sorry if I had met somebody that spoke those, which I wouldn't know if I did probably, but unless they wrote it down, hey, this is what I'm speaking, I would call you, okay? That's
Yeah.
my point, is call her. Okay?
I love
So
that.
how that came about, just so you also know, so I am Persian Armenian. So my dad is from Iran, and my mom is American, and then which my parents are still married, and then my husband is Persian Armenian is Persian Armenian. So that's how I am Persian Armenian.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah.
You sound like pure gringo, so I'm amazed that you speak multiple languages.
I just learned something new today about you, so that's even more amazing. I basically barely speak English, but that's all you get from me.
Oh, and fun fact, I'm completely sign language. I can speak sign language completely fluently as
You're
well.
kidding.
Yep.
Oh,
Took 4
really?
years of it in high school. So yep.
Like, how do we
Oh.
say thank you?
Yep.
So this is what I say to you.
Yep.
And thank you,
Thank you.
everybody,
Thank
for
you, Sheida.
joining
You're
us.
awesome.
You are amazing. And thank you. You've been
Thank
joining
you.
us here today, and you've been listening to the talk of Music City Real Estate.